Want more GAMESCOM? Let's do it! Christina here.
And Yana here.
And this is your PiMP Daily Dose for September 1st, brought to you by Electronic Arts at GAMESCOM 2011. Our coverage continues today with another highly anticipated game for 2012, Mass Effect 3.
And we'll be taking to the court for a detailed look at Grand Slam Tennis 2. I think sports gamers will like what they see.
When Mass Effect hits next year, the game is said to have a massive effect on your emotions. One of the key aspects from our demos at Gamescom was the emotional and cinematic impact the game has on players. The interaction and decision you make as a Commander Shepard will play a part, big or small, in how you experience the game. Also, 2 games worth of decisions came to a head here in the 3rd edition, and BioWare have worked hard to make sure those who have played through the first 2 games will feel the impact of those decisions. But, emotions aside, BioWare have taken inspirations from RPGs to take customization and combat to another level. Now you can modify your weapon using parts found around the galaxy, and all classes can access its weapon, so it's more about their personalization. In terms of powers, you now get to customize your power to fit the style in which you like to play. In our experience with the combat, the new cover and roll controls worked well enough, though it was a little sticky and perhaps not as free-flowing as it could be, though we should point out that this was far from the final product. We had the chance to speak with associate producer Mike Gamble at Gamescom, and here's what he had to say.
So Mass Effect 3 is basically the pinnacle of the series here. It's Commander Shepard's conclusion, and we're really excited to be bringing the close to his story, but at the same time, up the ante a little bit with the new combat mechanics that we've been putting in, basically deepened RPG systems. So the combat mechanics, we've definitely fleshed out the cover movement a lot. You can move from cover piece to cover piece, back and forth. RPG systems, you can now do more progression powers than ever. For each power, you can now have 6 possible evolution choices. It's a lot more deep and a lot more customizable experience. Well, there's 2 parts. There's the power customization and, the ability to play however kind of the way you want to play and customize your power to the style that you have. Then there's the other section of it, which is the weapons modification. So now you just take your weapon, you throw it up on the weapons bench, and, you add mods to it that you find throughout the galaxy, in different missions and things like that. It'll, affect stats in terms of, amount of ammo, damage, things like that. Basically making the weapon system more available, but at the same time very personal. And as you know, or as you may not know, all the classes now can access all the weapons. So there's never any limitation there. It's now just personalize it.
Okay, so you might think tennis games suck, but there are gamers out there, sports gamers, who love all sports. If nothing else, tennis games are good party games, getting you and your friends up off the couch, whether it's PlayStation Move, Xbox Connect, or Nintendo Wii. The thing is about Grand Slam Tennis 2, like all EA Sports games these days, is the authenticity combined with the fun of the physicality involved in play. PiMP TV got a chance to play a pre-alpha build of the game on the PlayStation Move and with a controller whilst at an exclusive EA Sports party in the UK. First of all, for such an early build of the game, it looks great and the gameplay was surprisingly smooth, though of course there are aspects that will be ironed out. But depending on your preferences, each control style makes for a rapidly different experience, and interestingly, the controller uses only the analog sticks to make shots, which is surprisingly easy to do without sending the ball into the stands. PiMP TV talked with line producer Thomas Singleton in the UK about the upcoming title.
Well, first and foremost, our number one innovation and what really sets us apart from what's been done to date in the tennis category would be our total racket control, right? So what we're doing is we're taking the buttons and throwing them away, so to speak. So for the first time in a tennis product, you're able to play the entire experience using just the analog sticks. So we've separated the left analog stick from the right analog stick. Left analog stick will take care of your movement, your player's feet, while the right analog stick transforms into the racket, hence the name Total Racket Control. Right? It's combining not only your shot type selection from a flat to a slice to a topspin, but also the aiming of where you're placing your balls, again, with your racket. So hit a flat shot, you're simply pushing up on the right analog stick in the direction you want the ball to head in. Pretty intuitive, pretty simple. You add additional complexities by pulling back, and then pushing forward to hit topspin shots. The longer I hold back, the more power I generate on my shot. However, there's always a compromise. In more power means less accuracy. So there's a lot of depth within there to hit slice shots. If I want to go real deep against the baseline, I'll hit a slice shot. I'll simply pull back on the right analog stick, release in the direction I want the ball to go in, and the ball will travel there. Yeah, so Pro AI is our AI system. It's similar to what we've done in our NHL franchise and Fight Night, where we have real AI systems. So we've got our players playing professionally. They're realistic and they're organic in nature. So not only do they look like themselves, they play like themselves, and they sound like themselves in Maria Sharapova's example, right? To a Johnny Mac who, from an emotional standpoint, may have a bit of meltdown, right? So John McEnroe's exclusive to our franchise. He's there in his glory with his afro and headband, etc., and he'll have emotional outbursts just like he does in real life within the product. From an organic standpoint, throughout a match, if I'm dominating my opponent with a forehand winning shot down the line, my opponent's going to adapt and adjust to that and try to either keep the ball away from my forehand or have a tendency to shadow that forehand down the line so I don't get those winners.
And that's your PiMP Daily Dose for September 1st.
For the full interviews with Mike Gamble and Thomas Singleton, go to the PiMP Joypad channel or visit www.pimp.tv.
See you again tomorrow for our final GAMESCOM 2011 coverage brought to you by Electronic Arts.